Welcome back. Long time no video. It's been a minute. A lot has changed. I got a lot to talk about. There's, as you can see, a ton going on in, oh no, can't show that yet. There's a ton going on in here. I'm trying to remember the last video I even posted. I guess I was doing this clock. Even before that, I sold the Malibu, got a decent price for it. That was kind of a decision I made to I just wanted to have a little more financial freedom. That allowed me to, between that and selling the Duramax, that basically allowed me to pay off my student loans, not have any debt on vehicles, and put some cash in my pocket. Then later I bought a 350Z and kind of did a little bit to it to make it drift worthy. Welded the diff, little angle kit, little handbrake, you know, nothing crazy. And now I've got some what I would call customer projects in the garage. And I want to talk about one of those in this video, to kind of give you an idea of what I've been up to and all that good stuff. So it's been pretty fun. As you can see, the garage is a little bit of a wreck, and that's what'll happen when you're working on several things at once. You know, the old Alpha TIG still hanging in there. I broke the bandsaw blade this morning and I was almost through, but you know, have that on these big jobs. So this is the big project I've got going on right now. Local guy brought me this car. It's a 69 Camaro. He brought it to me. It had a pretty healthy cammed LS1 in it with a Borg Warner 6-speed, which is still technically a T56, but it's not a very good one. It's got a 9-inch rear, real nice interior. Working on some rewire and all that kind of stuff. It's got vintage air. It's a nice car. Let me give you some light. It's a real nice car. But he brought me this car as a, you know, running, driving, naturally aspirated deal, LS swapped. It's got a little bit of suspension work and a stick shift. And he said, I want to put a turbo on it. And we decided, okay, well, let's do a 4.8 with a cam and springs and put a turbo on it. And he also said he wanted to keep the air conditioning. And I can't blame him. It's hot here in Kentucky. It gets real humid. It's real nice to be able to cruise around with air conditioning when the heat index is over 100. But it's still, I guess you can call that nice out. At least it's not winter. I don't know. So it's taking some work. I got a mock-up LS in here right now. It's just a junk engine I bought from Bowtie Boneyard for like $100. Figured I'll take all the extra hardware and all that stuff. It'll be nice to have, and then I can just take all the stuff out of the block, lighten it up a little bit, throw some old heads on it, and use that to mock up while I am also collecting parts and assembling a 4.8 for it. So yeah, as far as I know, this is the only LS swapped 69 Camaro that has air conditioning and a turbo, or maybe single turbo. Maybe there's a twin turbo car that does. In order to do that, I had to kind of redo the motor mounts, and I actually moved the motor up a little higher to make clearance for all of this good stuff. So using a Hooker turbo log down here, getting the engine up off of the engine cross member helped with that. It did have some, will the camera get down in here? It kind of had some issues clearing this control arm before. So, you know, just getting it up, got it away from that. And then I went through and I made this super sick, I'm gonna call it hot side. It's a really short hot side with a little wastegate dump action down here. Put a little brace on it. I think the camera lens has dust inside of it. It's making it hard for it to focus. I'm not enjoying that. It's not fun. Took a lot of research to figure out. Pretty much the only solution was this Holley mid-mount accessory drive that puts the AC compressor real close to the center of the engine. It kind of puts it right in front of the cylinder head. Every other kit puts the AC compressor basically where the turbo is now, or it puts it down low here. And the first gen Camaro subframe does not have clearance to put an AC compressor down there. It's just not an option. I'm also a little concerned about, see the steering box, hopefully it doesn't create clearance problems from a driver's side manifold, but if I have to make a tubular manifold over here, whatever, not a huge deal. But yeah, this is kind of where I'm at on this build. It's going to be getting a really sweet Holley low ram intake. Going to put some nice black valve covers on it, black coils, a lot of black stuff. Probably going to do the bed liner coating on the charge piping and all that. Got to figure out how to get an intercooler down in there. If you've put a turbo on a 69 Camaro and used an intercooler, message me, because I'm curious how you did it. So this is a VS Racing Next Gen 2.5 dual V-band turbo. 7875, should be good for 800 or 900 horsepower. It uses a 3-inch V-band instead of a T4 flange. I just thought that would be more compact and easier to do the hot side, because the hooker log, the outlet on that is a 3-inch. And then I got kind of fancy with the downpipe here. This turbo has a 3.5-inch flange on it, and actually if you're gonna use this dual V-band turbo, I recommend getting the downpipe flange, the V-band from VS Racing, because it is kind of a odd specific size. It's not really a 3.5-inch V-band, it's more like 3 3/4 or something. But the one they make fits beautifully. A 3.5-inch does not really fit the way it should. I went to JMD Tubes, and I just got some of their pre-cut pie cut pieces. I think they cut them with a laser, so they're super flat. Makes them real easy to fit up and prep and weld. And I just did that because I know there's going to be AC fittings right here, and I wanted to get the pipe away from the engine as soon as possible in this path, to just get all the heat away from everything. This might get Cerakoted. It would break my heart to wrap this or even Cerakote this, just because you know, it's not incredible work, but it's some of the best work I've done. I'm pretty proud of it. I'd like to be able to show that. So yeah, 3.5-inch downpipe going out. This car is going to get a full 3.5-inch stainless exhaust with a muffler all the way out over the axle. Probably gonna put a fat tip right there, something kind of, you know, sleek. You know, charge piping should be pretty simple. Out through here, then back up and right in the old intake. And that's kind of it. I'm also, this car had a factory, a GM ECU and harness and stuff, which it works, but when you're going turbo and it's on a swap and all this stuff, just do a Terminator X. That's what I got for this car. They're cheap. They're like $1,000 if you don't need trans control or drive-by-wire. And if you don't need a whole lot of inputs and outputs, which this doesn't, it's going to get boost control. The ECU is probably going to run the fans, trigger the fuel pump. That's about it. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at on this thing. Let me know if you have any questions. It's been an experience. I think it's going to turn out real nice. I'm excited to see how it goes. And of course, did everything with the old AHP Alpha TIG 200X and the Bauer Harbor Freight Portaband on the man, who makes, I can't, it's an off-road fab company that does this table, but worth every penny. My goodness. So yeah, that's where I'm at on it. The next video, I'm going to talk about this monstrosity, which you can see I've put the turbo on it, but it's on backwards. Why did I do that? Until next time, I'm Keith. See you later.